Experts are attractors. They attract people to them. Experts give. And so people understand that they want to be associated with an expert. Experts are empathizers. They understand somebody's problem, but they're not going to, it's not like, for example, in this particular case, in the empathizers, when I create content and it's about a particular topic or a problem that I'm trying to solve, I'll say, you have this problem and I'm the one that can help. And here's the solution. Not where a lot of times what we try to do, and what I would try to do before that was say, yeah, I understand your problem. Yeah, I had the same problem. No, I didn't. I'm the expert. I didn't have the problem. I know the answer. I fixed it. So we want to try to create that same emphasis. You never sympathize, you empathize. I understand your problem. And I know how, and I've worked with people and I understand how that I can help you fix that problem. That's what I mean by empathize with them. It's important. But let your content demonstrate your expertise. Here's the analogy I use. Perfect example now. Okay, so you think you got the coronavirus. And so your options are, and you think you got a serious case and you may be at risk. Your options are, jog down the street to the local urgent care, or make a trip to the Mayo Clinic. Money, no object, all of those, factors out of place, just two simple scenarios. Which one are you going to choose? You're probably going to pick the Mayo. Why? Because they got a whole bunch of certificates on the wall. They've got all the shingles, they got all the credentials, and they are the expert. But you know what the cool thing about an expert, and you can be the same thing in your industry, but you know what the cool thing about an expert is? With an expert, if you're perceived as an expert, let's say you go to the Mayo Clinic and they go, well, it's going to be, $8,000 to treat you. And you go, would you take 6? Would you do it for 5? You're not going to do that. You're going to pay the price because you want to deal with the expert. And it's the same way with our business. Price becomes less, and I'm not saying price never, always drops out of the equation, but price becomes less of a factor if you're perceived as the expert, because now people trust you. They want to do business with the person that they put their trust in. And that's why it's so critically important for me. I think this is a key component of building that reliability, credibility factor we talked about. By expert, I by no means say, it needs to be a contrived stuffed shirt version of you, because that's absolutely the opposite. Nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with, somebody that's, looks down on them or feels like they're better than me. So that's the last thing you want to do. Your voice is so critical in your content. And by voice, I mean, talk to people the way that you would want to, that you would want to be talked to. I read some of my blog articles, you'll see that I get a little bit snarky in some of mine, and some of them are a little bit, but I try to have fun with them, because if I can't have fun with, if it's got to be a, thou shalt do this, or thou will,
Nobody
perish
wants
from
to
the
read
face
that,
of the
Barry.
whip.
It's boring. It's not. We don't want to be lectured to.
No, absolutely.
No, I mean, it doesn't work in the copy. It just doesn't work.
No, it
And
doesn't.
I know a lot of people get stuck on how to write. Most of the people I work with hate writing. One of the things I have them do is record themselves when they're on their soapbox, and really, and then transcribe that language, because you are really good at articulating what you do when you're not thinking about it, and when you're on your natural way. And then all of a sudden our brain freezes when it comes to writing. And a lot of times I used to work with a lot of professional speakers, and I would have them just record when they were speaking so they could translate that into books or whatever, because they get stuck. So, you can get out your phone and just start recording when you're talking to one of your clients or whatever, and you will have a lot of content there that you don't even know about, and it will be in your voice. So it doesn't have to be as stressful as it sounds.
Absolutely. And that's what I tell people is, if you'll take the mental picture when you're trying to create blog content, and the mental picture is, I'm writing to one person. I'm not talking to the masses. I'm not presenting to the masses. I am talking to one individual, and you'll create a whole different approach than if you think you're going to present to the masses. So that's why your voice is so critically important.